Hi everybody, my name is Betsy Karnes and I'm a Jamberry Nails independent consultant, and I'm here today to give you a tutorial, take you through step by step how to apply your Jamberry nail wraps. You are now super excited, you received them in the mail, and each sheet comes with 18 nail wraps. So most people can get 2 manicures and 2 pedicures out of one sheet of nail wraps. For a pedicure, you can just cut maybe the second largest or the largest nail wrap in half. Half of it goes on one big toe, half on the other, and then I cut this down the middle and then in little pieces and kind of trim those to put on my toes so I can get a pedicure out of just 2 wraps. For the rest of the wraps over here, the important thing you want to do is match which wrap is going to go on which nail. Okay, so the backing on the sheet is clear, so that's very helpful. So you're just going to line it up and kind of fold it over to check and see which wrap is best going to fit on which nail. Now, one of the most important tips for getting your wraps to last is making sure that you choose a wrap that's not too big for the nail. So if you want to cover your nail, but err on the side of being a little bit narrow so that none of the wrap is going to touch your skin on side to side. Okay, so that's the important trick. And the first time you figure this out, it'll go much faster after that. Okay, so I have already started applying my wrap, so I'm going to jump into where I was. But for you, the first step is taking a nail file and filing your nails to the length and the shape that you want them. Next, you're going to push back your cuticles. So you don't want any cuticle touching the nail wrap, so you have to push those back. If you have gel nails or acrylic nails, you really want to buff your nails to take away the shine, or if you've got ridges. And if you are applying these to little girls, the Jamberry Juniors, little girls' nails are very healthy and oily, so this kind of roughens them up a little. It won't damage it, but it makes the wrap adhere better to the nail. Then you need to clean your nails. So I recommend washing your hands with Dawn dish soap because it gets all the oil and the grease off. And then take an alcohol wipe, open it up, and you're going to go over your nails and your fingertips because you're going to be working with your wraps and really clean your nails. So I've done one hand and I'm ready to do the next, and I'm going to just make sure they're nice and clean and prepped and ready to go. Okay, then I am going to begin. Now I always start by putting the Jamberry smoothing base coat over my nails because I wear the Jamberry nail wraps constantly. And this is just an extra protective layer. The Jamberry nail wraps will not damage your nails when you remove them properly, but I like to wear this because I feel like it just makes my wraps come off faster when it's time to remove. And I'll explain that at the end. I highly recommend you invest in a little bottle of that. I put 2 coats on under every set of nail wraps. Okay, so the next step is applying your nail wraps. All right, I have 2 more fingers to go. So you're going to take scissors, and each sheet is good for 2 nails. So you cut down the middle, half of the nail wrap, and then I'm going to take my little orange stick, okay, or your scissors, whatever you've got, and you're going to heat it up. Now I have a Jamberry Nails mini heater, which is wonderful, but you can also use your hair blow dryer. And you just need to do it for about 5 to 8 seconds until it gets soft and flimsy. Then you're going to line up the nail wrap as close to the cuticle, but without touching it, right in the center of your nail. And if you need to use your fingers, as you get the hang of it, you can touch the tip because that's going to get cut off anyways. So line it up at the nail bed. Okay, and just lightly get it on there. Okay, so you can see that I just barely have it resting on there. I've made sure it's center. Now, this part's important. You press at the cuticle, okay, really good, right at the tip, then press it down the center of your nail, and then side to side. This makes it nice and smooth. There's no buckling or ripples. Okay, next I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to trim the excess off. And I'm going to trim as close to my nail, I have to look at it, as close to my nail as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get, especially on the sides of your nails, trim right close to your nail. So I really just have a little bit of excess there. Then I'm going to take a plastic bag and use a black baggie, and I'm going to wrap my nail really tight like this, and I'm going to reheat it. This just helps get an extra good seal around the edges. Okay, so as you can see, the nail wrap is kind of folded over my nail tip, and it's going to be nice and tight around there. Now I'm going to let this cool while I move on to my next wrap. I normally like to apply these at night before bed because then the adhesive can kind of cure. Don't go do hot dishes or take a bath right after you apply these. You can carry on with normal life, which I'm about to do, but don't put your hands in hot water right away because these are heat activated. And so just let them set. Now if you use hot water later, it's not going to make them fall off, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, nice and flimsy. Now I'm going to apply right at my nail bed, right at the cuticle, as close to it without touching. Okay, and just kind of roll that off and set. So again, it's just barely setting on there. Push at the cuticle, down the center, and then side to side, just like this, side to side. Okay, I take my purple stick or a cuticle stick, and you're going to apply pressure. So you just want to go around your nail like this so that the edges all have a nice good seal, and you should see that there is no nail wrap touching my skin. So there is a tiny bit of nail showing. You can't even see when you're looking at it, but I know that I'm not touching cuticle or the edge of my skin, so I'm going to have a good lasting Jamacure. Okay, again, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut close to my nail. Doesn't have to be perfect again, but just cut off the excess, especially around the corners. You want to make sure you trim those. Okay, then take your baggie and you're going to reheat and really wrap that nail very tightly. Reheat it up. If you've got Jamberry Junior little girls who don't want to put their hands in front of the hot blow dryer or a heater, you can take a rice pack or fill a sock with rice and you can put that on for pressure. Just an extra warmth step, which really helps the wraps to seal. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my index finger. Now you've got this excess here. You take a nail file and you file downwards 90 degrees. Do not go up because that's going to lift the tip up. Downward direction only. Okay, going around, and what this is going to do, it just perforates the edge right off. And you can see there's a little bit of nail wrap coming right off. Now, if you have very short nails or you're applying these to Jamberry Juniors, their skin or your skin might come past your nail. So you can't file, although you'd have to go across, and we don't want to do that. So one trick that you can do, it's all off now, is take nail clippers, and you can literally clip nail with your wrap. So you don't have to prep your nails first by filing. You know that you're going to clip them anyways. And that's what I do also on my toes. I don't file my nails or clip my toenails first. I apply the wrap, and then I know I'm going to just trim, clip, nail, and file, and then I have a perfect edge. Okay, so now this one has also cooled, so let me file this down. You want to get around the edges really well, because you don't want those to catch on anything. You don't want to leave a little bit of nail wrap, especially on those corners, hanging over the tip, or that's going to catch on clothes or when you're changing laundry or your kids' shoes, whatever it may be. Okay, it all came right off. The more excess you trim, the easier this filing step is. Okay, so now my nails, I've got a little bit there. Don't pull it if you've got a little left. Just work it off. It's okay, it's gone. Now I'm going to take, all my nails are done, so I'm going to take the baggie one more time over all of them. Just, this is an extra reheat. One nail, two, okay, really on the tip, three. I'm going to go through the rest. Then I'm going to take my purple stick and I'm going to get a nice extra little smooth out. Okay, really push down. You can use your finger too if they're nice and clean because you've used the alcohol wipe. And just apply pressure over. Then I let them all cool. Now, the last step, which I think is really important, is taking a fine grit file or a glass file and taking the file at a little bit of an angle on your nail and doing an extra file once they've all cooled, because this makes sure that there is no wrap hanging over the tip of your nail. One of the things we don't want is your tips to lift. So this makes sure that there's no wrap on the tip, because once you start using your nails as tools to pull off a sticker or to peel an orange, if there's wrap over the tip, then it's going to lift up. So you want to kind of file on the wrap a little bit so that there is no wrap right on the tip. Okay, especially on those sides, you can go a little bit on the wrap, because if you have a fine grit file, you're not even going to notice. And just make sure you don't have a really tough grit one, because then you're going to take off wrap that's on your nail and you're going to have a little gap there, and you don't want that. Okay, so just take your time. Make sure that when you look, and I got a little extra there, so that's great. When you're looking at your nail, you have no wrap at the tip. So when I look at it, I don't want to see wrap coming over, because that's going to make the tip lift. Okay, so that's an extra tip I have. Then I just do that on all of my nails, and I have a beautiful Sunny Lotus Jamacure. Now let me talk nail health real fast. On the second day that you apply these, every night you should be putting cuticle oil on your cuticles, because these are beautiful, chip resistant. I'm done, I can go do whatever I want to do, but they're nice and tightly sealed to my nail bed. So I just want to make sure that my nails, my cuticles, are getting moisture. So I just have my cuticle oil on my nightstand and I apply it every single night to keep my nails very healthy. Now, how do I maintain my wrap? So let's say you do get a little edge that lifts up. Do the same step again. Take your baggie, reheat with your heater or your blow dryer, let it cool, and then take your very fine grit file and file downwards. Or you can even clip that part off and reheat, and you should be good to go. And if you don't pick at them, you'll be just fine. I usually get 7 to 10 days out of each of my Jamacures. And I have 2 little kids. I'm really hard on my nails, so I feel like if I can get that much out, then so can you. And I also want to talk about how to remove them. Now, because I've applied my Jamberry smoothing base coat, I just heat mine up in hot water, and then starting at the cuticle, just lift a little bit, and this actually stays right on my nail, and I can peel the wrap away from the smoothing base coat. Now, if it starts to come up, I notice that the smoothing base coat is coming up with it, then I just reheat, and I just get a cotton ball of nail polish remover, and I just start to work it underneath, and I just kind of push the wrap right off. And I have very healthy nails. Now, if you don't use the smoothing base coat, which is fine, most people don't, but since I wear these all the time, I recommend it. You're going to clean your nail bed really well with alcohol, apply your wrap, and then when it's time to remove, you're going to reheat. I like to soak my hands in hot oil, coconut oil, olive oil. Really take your time on this. Lift and soak in the hot oil. Lift and soak in the hot oil, starting at the cuticle and working your way down. And if you just go slowly, then when you're done, you'll have moisturized and healthy nails. I hope that you enjoy your wraps. Contact me anytime if you have any questions, and jam on it. Have a great day.